Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Redbull Junior Championship Race 9 from Suzuka Grand Prix Circuit. This being the title decider. Demon R leading the way on 143 points and SGP can catch him, but he's gonna need a miracle to take the title. Steve F1 in third place with Hulkenberg not too far behind him, but Dave the Harp and Twilight still battling it out for fifth. SRI can't make the race today, so Schumacher would be able to pass him, but Schumacher's not here either. But Fluffy, Planet, Jason, Bunsell and Formula Gary could all progress up the order today. Take a look at the qualifying result though for the race. Demon R taking pole position with Steve F1 set up. SGP on the front row of the grid, so we have the title contenders going at it into turn 1, reminiscent of Senna and Prost. Steve F1 and Hulkenberg are on the second row with Dave the Harp and Jason on row 3. Tyler and Fluffy are on row 4, while Twilight and Bunsell take up row 5 and Rich Blues starts 11th. A few drivers missing today unfortunately, but the title fight is still well and truly on. Demon R only needs to finish, but SGP needs to win and Demon R not finish to take the title. Before we head to the race though, a quick message from the DGT League admins. So joining me on commentary then is James for this championship decider. How do you think it's going to go, James?
It could be mental, but the two championship rivals are on the front row.
So the drivers are ready then. Demon R on pole position, his championship rival in second place, that's SGP. The title will be decided today as the lights go out and away they go, and it's a decent start from Demon R. SGP holding on to second place and Steve F1 with a decent start in third as well, but it's being challenged by Hulkenberg.
Yeah, down in towards turn 1, SGP slots into P2. Hulkenberg has got Dave the Art trying it round the outside, but he's just managed to hold on to it, and SGP is trying to have a look for the lead of the race, but I don't think it's going to happen that easy.
No, it definitely is not. And something else that isn't going to happen easily is the sadness disappearing from the passing of the late, great Nicky Lauda. Plenty of respect shown towards him from the drivers today, with many of the drivers paying their rest in peace respects.
Yeah, indeed. So SGP's just literally plastered his car with Nicky Lauda tributes and removed all the decals, but it looks like in the background I think Hulkenberg's closing in on Steve F1 for third place.
He is. Now Demon R and SGP, there's only 17 points between them in the championship, but I believe these two are fighting for position in the championship as well, James.
Yeah, this could be quite tasty as Hulkenberg's trying it round the outside. That's going to be quite a tough move as he... Oh, there goes Dave the Arp up the inside, almost snatching P4 from James Hulkenberg. Yeah,
Dave the Arp giving it a decent look there as Hulkenberg runs a little bit wide. Steve F1 and Hulkenberg fighting for third place in the championship, and Dave the Harp is not far behind them either. However, let's see how they get on into the final chicane, the Casio triangle. Dave the Harp closing the gap. He's going for the move on the inside. We saw him go for a bonkers overtake into a chicane in Monza, and he's done it again in Suzuka.
Yeah, and you almost turned a bit Japanese there as you said that, but here we go. We've got SGP on the way down towards turn 1. What do you think is going to happen?
Oh, he's all over the back of Demon R. He's going to go for the racing line around the outside, but Demon R's on the apex, coming in contact between them. SGP is off. Where's Demon R? Steve F1's taking the lead of the race. Demon R's off in the background as well. I think that was Demon R waiting for SGP to recover, but that's massively costly for SGP more than it is for Demon R. Questions about that one maybe from the fans, James?
Possibly. The stewards will be looking at that, I'm sure, but right now we've got a different change of grid order at the moment. We've got Steve F1 leading the race, Dave the Art P2 and James Hulkenberg P3. Fluffy Planet. Oh, Dave the Art almost tapping Steve F1 off, but this is really going to close the pack up now.
It is, as Hulkenberg is trying to squeeze up the inside of Dave the Harp. Hulkenberg likes a cheeky overtake, and he's going to try it here, although it looks like he's... Oh, Dave the Harp got sideways, bit of contact with Hulkenberg, and Dave the Harp has lost it into the barrier. Is he going to lose positions? I think he's okay at the moment, but Hulkenberg is really charging to try and catch up to Steve F1, and as normal, folks, there's 3 tyre compounds, super soft. Hulkenberg going for... Oh, no, it's not.
Steve F1.
SGP is going for it on a move on Bunsel. That was a lovely move through Spoon there.
Yeah, lovely move. I wasn't even looking at the screen there. That was a fantastic overtake. And where is Demon R though?
That's a good question, but at the moment we've got 3 wide. Tyler, Jason and Bunsel. A little bit of contact between the 3 of them, and Jason manages to survive the best as SGP has got up to 5th, just ahead of Jason. Tyler's in 7th. Demon R is not in the top 8 at the moment. I know that because it shows on the screen. Hulkenberg getting massively shaky there, James.
Yeah, a little bit of a twitch on exit, and this could give Dave the Harp a run down in towards turn 1. I can see Demon R there in the background. I think he's down in P9 at the moment as Tyler pulls out from Jason.
SGP's gone wide all on his own. That's going to be costly. He's lost a position to Bunsel. Has he lost position to anyone else? Yes, Tyler and Jason as well. That's costly for him. Steve F1 though still holds on to the lead of the race as Hulkenberg coming under pressure from Dave the Harp. We're only 4 minutes into this race and there's already so much happening, James.
Yeah, indeed. This front 3, though, this is their pure opportunity of snatching a win, as the 2 guys who have been literally snatching most of the wins this season have been SGP and Demon R. Steve F1's the only other driver with a win to his name.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, and that was at Brazil. Steve F1 going defensive into the hairpin. Hulkenberg around the outside though. They're side by side as Hulkenberg managed to get ahead. You know what? I think he may have done. Yes, he has. He's into the lead of the race. That's a fantastic move from Hulkenberg. SGP, after taking himself off, is down in 8th. He's now got Demon R right behind him in 9th. Bunsel giving SGP a little bit of a nudge there, but once again through Spoon, SGP making the move.
Ooh, Demon R up the inside of Bunsel. I'm not too sure if he's managed to make the move, but up at the front we've got Dave the Art making a move on Steve F1 as we go side by side into 130R.
It's not an easy place to overtake, but these cars can go side by side flat out, and that's a wonderful move from Steve F1. Dave the Harp going for the inside again, and Steve F1 giving him the room. Can Dave the Harp make the move? Yes, he can. What has got into that guy today? Must have been that can of chips and a bag of Coke.
Yeah, definitely, especially the bag of Coke. But here we go, we've got Demon R on SGP down in towards turn 1. Is Demon R going to be able to do him on the brakes?
No, you know, maybe. No, he can't. I'm wondering if Demon R's playing a little bit of a cautious game now after making contact early on, because if SGP somehow manages to still win this race, the only 2 things that can mean he can take the championship off Demon R is if Demon R does not finish, or Demon R ends up with massive amount of penalty points.
Yeah, what do you think's probably going through these guys' minds right now? Probably switching to a different strategy and try and get back into the lead of the race, or just hold on?
Oh, SGP battling with Jason there. You know what? I would have said maybe a difference in strategy, but to be honest, they're right on the leader as it is. There's Hulkenberg, Dave the Harp, Steve F1 and Twilight, and there's SGP, so I wouldn't necessarily say a change of strategy. The only thing is we don't know what tyres these guys are on at the moment, and there are 3 available, so when it comes to the first round of pit stops, we'll learn a lot more as Demon R coming under pressure. If they're on the super soft tyre, James, what are you thinking? 8 minutes into the race?
Oh, I don't know, but we've just had a tractor drive past the commentary box. Hopefully, he didn't pick that up. We got Steve F1 now, side by side with Dave the Harp, and I think Steve F1 may have this. He keeps his foot in.
Well, we saw these two last lap around going side by side through this corner, and Dave the Harp managed to make it work into the chicane, but this time he's made it work through the corner. Oh, and in the background, Demon R up alongside Jason. Jason, though, fighting him off, and SGP making the move on Twilight, manages to get through. This is frantic stuff. Oh, and
Dave the Harp.
Into the
Dave the Harp's gone into the pit. Yeah, so he's probably just seen that SGP's managed to make his way through the pack quite quick. And he wants to dispose of them old tyres and get some brand new ones on, but we're only on lap 5.
Yeah, lap 5, 7.5 minutes into the race. Dave was on the soft tyre, so the middle compound of tyre, and he's the first to pit, so maybe he's just going for avoiding any tyre drop-off. Demon R, though, he's stuck behind Twilight at the moment. He's seen SGP make a move and gain places, and he's kind of stuck at them all. Twilight's ran a little bit wide through Dunlop. Demon R makes the move, wastes no time, and that Twilight's going to lost more time.
Yeah, he's really cocked up there as Twilight. That's just lost 3 positions with 1 mistake, so definitely very, very costly for him. So there is Jason in the pure white Red Bull, and there is James Hulkenberg in the Tesla marked up Red Bull.
Yeah, Steve F1 sitting in second place, and SGP is now all over the back of Steve F1 with Dave the Harp pitting. Demon R is there in 4th. Fluffy Planet coming. He's managed to get past Twilight as well. I'm wondering if Twilight's tyres have gone off, and perhaps that's why Dave the Harp went for the pit stop when he did, to avoid dropping places. Twilight trying to fight back on Fluffy Planet, though can't quite get the move done, but he's still there to apply the pressure. Is Steve F1 catching up to Hulkenberg? I think he is.
I think Hulkenberg's had a bit of a mistake through Spoon, and that's just that little gap of about 1.5 seconds has now come down to about 0.2.
Yeah, it has, and if there's one thing you don't want with 0.2, it's trying to fit 6 people in them. Steve F1, though, applying the pressure to Hulkenberg while James tries to get his head around that analogy. Trust me, there's no answer to it. Oh, Steve F1 going for the pit lane. Oh, Demon R into the pits as well.
Yeah, I think James Hulkenberg did a bit of a dummy there, and that kind of caught Steve F1 out. Steve F1 committed to the pit lane and realised he couldn't actually get back on the track without hitting the pit wall. And he's now been forced into the pit lane. Is that going to be costly for Hulkenberg, or is it going to work dividends?
I think it might be costly, because I've got a feeling the undercut is going to be massive around here. There was a lot of drivers that did head into the pit lane. However, SGP was not one of them. He has not led this race yet, but if he's got decent tyre life, he may lead it soon, because he's all over the back of Hulkenberg. So he's pretty much gone from front row of the grid down to the back up to about 7th, back to the back, and then up to 2nd. So an interesting race for SGP.
Yeah, indeed. So Demon R's pitted as well, and SGP, he really needs something spectacular to happen to Demon R during this race, but right now he's sitting in 7th, and that's not too bad.
Yeah, you got Steve F1. Dave the Harp is ahead. We can see him there. Dave the Harp is ahead of Steve F1 and Demon R, and also Tyler, I think it is. Steve F1 and Demon R were on the super soft tyre. Dave the Harp started on the softs, and I think he's stuck with the softs. So Hulkenberg a little bit twitchy. He's going to be a sitting duck here now, you know.
Yeah, they're going to go side by side, I think. SGP's got a decent run. Can he go around the outside of 130R?
Oh, side by side they go, but that's what I'm on about. You can get around that corner side by side. Who's got the better braking? And it's Hulkenberg. He's going very late on the brakes there, but manages to retake the position. And I tell you what, Jason is not far away as well. Hulkenberg into the pits. What tyres is he on? Looks like it's the soft compound, and SGP not pitted yet.
Yeah, that's surprising. Demon R now promoted up to 4th place, which will become 3rd when he disposes of Steve F1, but that will be tricky, and they've really closed in on Dave the Harp now.
That they have, and we've not seen SGP heading out of the pit lane yet, but that's because he's not gone into the pit lane yet.
Yeah, so can these guys catch up to the back of Steve F1 SGP. I'm getting confused with drivers now.
It's alright.
That tractor's really distracted me.
well, Demon R is catching up to the back of Steve F. Well, Dave the Arb just got a little bit out of shape through Dunlop. That's going to allow Steve F1 to make the move, and Demon R is going to try and follow him through. Yes, Dave the Arb gives them the space to do so and manages to make it work. Tyler's doing quite well, sitting in 5th place at the moment, but I do not know if he has pitted yet. SGP definitely hasn't pitted, and I tell you what, these guys are going to be catching him up pretty quickly, but SGP could be going for a 2-stop strategy here, meaning this current time gap is not relevant. It's going to be relevant at the final round of pit stops, because SGP is going to be doing one less.
Possibly. Twilight. Oh, somebody's just gone off. I think it was Fluffy Planet through Spoon. He's just gone off, so that's a free place for Hulkenberg. But here we go. We've got Demon Art on Steve F1 as we head towards 130 yards, going to the inside. This is going to be tight as they go through, and Demon Art just out absolutely canes it through there and says, "Look, don't bother fighting me. I'm having this."
Yep, the car is gold for a reason. Hulkenberg making a move up the inside of Twilight. Twilight giving him plenty of room. SGP is now into the pit lane, and he was on the super soft tyre. That's phenomenal tyre wear or tyre life around this track. And I want to mention Tyler running a half and half Nicky Lauda livery, half McLaren, half Ferrari. Looks good from both sides.
Yeah, well, it's best of both worlds, isn't it?
I think Demon R might have something to say about the number 1 on the front of it, but other than that, it's a brilliant livery. Yeah,
Fluffy Planet looks like a man who's very, very impatient and quite frustrated. I'm surprised. Oh, Tyler almost lost the rear end, and I'm surprised. If we had Schumacher here, that'd be
very confusing.
That'd be 2.5 Ferraris. That would be.
It would, yeah. You're right. Demon R though leading the way at the moment. Steve F1 sticking with him, and Dave the Harp. Okay, he lost a little bit of ground after he was overtaken, but he's still there or thereabouts. But I've got a feeling Dave the Harp could be pitting again soon. He may end up doing more stops than anybody else. SGP currently sitting in 9th place, and ahead of him is Jason with the impatient Fluffy Planet, as you put it, James. So we'll see how SGP is going to be. Oh, he's already on the back of Jason. I think they must have been very slow through Spoon there. So this could give SGP a real... Oh, you know what it is? I think Tyler's tyres are gone, and that's held up Fluffy Planet and Jason.
Yeah, so here we go into 130R, 3 wide. It isn't going to be, but SGP needs to try and not get too tangled up with these guys.
Yeah, he is trying that, but you know what? That's a lovely double overtake he's managed to do there on Jason and Tyler. That's fantastic driving from SGP, and he's all over the back of Fluffy Planet now, who is all over the back of Twilight, who is not that far away from the weaving Hulkenberg. So, Tyler trying to fight back on SGP, can't quite get it done though, he covers it off.
Yeah, so SGP up the inside though of Fluffy Planet. Nice move there. That might also give Jason an opportunity, as Twilight now is the cork in the bottle for SGP.
That he is. And SGP did just get all over the curb and a little bit out of shape there. Twilight's running a little bit wider than he wants to at that point. SGP is trying to look up the inside. He's forcing his way through. Twilight is all out of shape. Ooh, I think the stewards may want to have a look at that one.
Yeah, indeed. I kind of feel like Twilight giving half a car's width, and SGP was like, well, I'm coming through whether you like it or not. And I think it was just very, very lucky there with SGP that Twilight didn't end up spinning.
Yeah, I think you could be right there. Okay, let's see what's the situation at the moment then. Steve F1 pitted at the same time as Demon R, so I wouldn't be surprised if these two are going to be on a very similar strategy throughout this race. Dave the Harp still hasn't done his second stop yet, but this is where the big fight is kicking off around Tyler, around Twilight. Twilight is going to run wide. There's going to have to be careful because Bunsell is all over the back of him, but there isn't anywhere for Bunsell to go.
Yeah, so he's just going to have to tuck in behind one of the two drivers, and right now, Tyler's looking the best of this pack at the moment. SGP needs to try and pull away from these guys.
That he does. Well, he needs to pull away, but also if he is on a two-stop strategy, he can't afford to hurt his tyres, as Hulkenberg is all over the back of Dave the Harp. Pulls to the inside. Has he got the bravery? Has he got the grip? I think he has, because Dave the Harp's tyres are going to be a little bit older now. And yeah, there you go, running a little bit wide. Twilight though out, trying to have a look at Tyler. My goodness, my tongue does not want to work today.
Yeah, there's too many T's tonight. Twilight and Tyler, too many T's. Luckily, Bunsel's an opposite of a T. But yeah, right now he could do with some M&Ms and a cup of tea right now. But there is Demon R heading through Degner 2, and yeah, he needs to try and pull away from Steve F1, but Steve F1 is just not letting him go.
No, he's not. I mean, Steve F1's had a fantastic championship in these Red Bull Juniors. It's just been unfortunate for him. The Demon R has had the more successful championship. Let's see, Hulkenberg's pulling away from Dave the Harp now, so I think Dave the Harp's tyres are on their way out. Hulkenberg, can he close up to Steve F1 and Demon R? Time will tell. You said that SGP needs to break away from this pack. He is doing slowly, but as I mentioned, he can't afford to burn his tyres out. Bunsel though, he's now, after he's got past Twilight, is really applying the pressure to Tyler.
Yeah, so Tyler's running a bit wide there through Spoon. This could give Bunsel the opportunity. Meanwhile, Steve F1 is only probably about half a second away from Demon R now, so that's quite close still for the leader of the race. Do you think it's probably going to be a 3-stop or a 2-stop this race?
I'm thinking it might be a 3. Oh, Steve F1's going for the undercut. He pitted on 10 minutes previously. This time he's pitted perhaps a lap early to get the undercut so they can be ahead of Demon R. But SGP is now all over the back of Dave the Harp. I'm wondering if Dave the Harp's on another different tyre compound. SGP closing that gap. Yeah, Dave might be on the mediums.
Davey out there, I thought he's kind of gone a touch wide. SGP's tried to take the move, and I think he's done it, but there is Bunsel on the AstroTurf. You don't want to be out there.
No, a bit of a sympathy spin perhaps from Bunsel, and Steve F1 manages to come out of the pits and find traffic all over the place into the knuckles, but he'll be glad about that, to be honest. It's 2 less cars for him to have to overtake. He's now pretty much got clear track all the way up to the battle between Tyler, Dave the Harp and SGP.
Yeah, he couldn't have asked for better luck there, as one man's luck is one man's bad luck, and unfortunately for Bunsel, he's got the bad luck. But yeah, Steve F1 on his way now towards Tyler in P5.
Yeah, now with Steve F1 pitting a lap, I'm guessing a lap earlier, because I've got a feeling Demon R's going to come in this lap, it will mean that Steve F1 will potentially have a longer stint at some point in this race. He may get the benefits of undercuts. Oh, Hulkenberg runs wide in second place. He's on the AstroTurf, and once you get on the AstroTurf in Spoon, you are all out to sea, and SGP manages to slot through to take second place. And he gives a little bit of a weave. Cheeky driver.
He is a cheeky driver. I think Hulkenberg might have a different word for cheeky. But yeah, I think that's probably just winding Hulkenberg up there with a little bit of a cheeky weave. And Demon R, race leader, is into the pits.
Yeah, okay, so where will Demon R come out? Oh, Tyler all out of shape. Steve F1 manages to slot through, and Tyler's headed into the pit lane. So Steve F1 was very, very lucky there. Dave the Harp was on the medium, so was Tyler. Hulkenberg's in the pits on soft tyres. Demon R's on super soft tyres. Once again, though, SGP takes the lead of the race. Steve F1 crosses or heads into turn 1, and there is Demon R. So Steve F1 has effectively taken net lead of this race. This race has got plenty of twists and turns, James, and I'm not just on about the racetrack.
Yeah, also Twilight, can he try it round the outside? This will be fantastic if he can. Oh, Bunsel!
I think Bunsel just caught, touched the curb, didn't he?
He did. That was, if I were Twilight, I would not be holding up for Bunsel. I'd be like, that'd be your mistake, mate, not mine.
But having said that, If it had been Twilight's fault, then yeah, fair enough. But I think in hindsight, looking back at it, yeah, unfortunately it was Bunsel's fault. That one caught the curb and off they go. Tyler though, brand new set of tyres on his car. He's all over the back of Fluffy Planet. He wants to show that a half and half car is faster than a full car.
Yeah, I think the last time we saw a half and half car in Formula 1 was an awful Williams.
Are you sure it wasn't a BAR?
Maybe.
Okay, so what's the situation now then? SGP leading the race. He's going to have, I think, one more pit stop to do. Steve F1 is in second place. I think he's going to have one more stop to do. Same for Demon R. Interesting stuff going on. However, for the championship, this does not help SGP. He needs someone to go and take out Demon R's internet.
Yeah, indeed. And unfortunately, I don't even think we've got enough drivers to potentially force Demon R to not actually get enough points as Tyler looks like he's trying to mate with the back of Fluffy Planet's car.
Yeah, decent driving from the pair of them there, but not there, because that's Fluffy Planet going straight on at the chicane. That's unfortunate for him. It was brilliant driving through the 130R though, giving each other space. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned, James, there are a few drivers missing from today's race, unfortunately. Basically, SGP needed Demon R to finish, I think it was lower than 13th, but unfortunately there's only 11 drivers on the grid. So, yeah, mathematics dictate that Demon R literally just needs to finish and he'll take the title. But as I mentioned, he can't afford to go getting any penalties for having collisions with anyone, and Twilight's just had a moment at turn 1. I don't know if that was contact with another car or not, as Fluffy Planet comes out of the pits straight in front of Jason, and Jason says, I don't like that very much.
Yeah, that were quite tight there, and Jason wisely took to the inside, but it was very, very close to contact there.
Yeah, I do know that in the DGT sort of rules of racing, so to speak, there isn't any rules about pit entries or exits. However, I'm pretty sure that with a pit exit, if you do pull out of the pit exit straight in front of another car, you could end up in trouble, because that's kind of like a no-no, really.
Yeah, and Dave the Arp and Hulkenberg, they pitted on the same lap, and Dave the Arp was struggling earlier on, but he's looking to be closing in now on Hulkenberg.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's getting on much better with the medium compound tyre. However, he's got Tyler all over the back of him. Tyler he's having a stormer of a race here. He's really in the fight for this sort of top 5 positions.
Yeah, indeed. So, where I think Steve F1 right now, he's sitting pretty in P2. SGP, I'm not too sure how long he's going to be able to go on them tyres. I think it were 6 laps he ended up doing. So we've gone past double that. So I think any time now we're going to be seeing SGP in the pit lane. Yeah,
I think you could be right. I think it was about 13 minutes he did on his first stint, so add another 13 minutes on and that'll be about right. The problem for him is though, Tyler, big off. Interesting, he went off at that corner where there was once a Ferrari and a McLaren.
Yeah, indeed. Dave the Arp is really closing in on the back of Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg looks to be sliding the rear end, and that's not what you want to be doing around this circuit, as there's plenty of fast corners to really cook your tyres up, as Steve F1's closing in now on SGP. As Demon R's closing in on Steve F1.
Yeah, Steve F1 is rapidly closing in, meaning SGP, he's on, well, we know he's at the end of his stint, but his tyres must be absolutely shot. The only benefit for SGP here is that when he pits, he will get an undercut on both Steve F1 and Demon R, meaning that when they make their pit stops, SGP could still be ahead of them. But with older tyres, Steve F1 at some point in this race is going to have a slightly longer stint to do, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Steve F1 pitting either at the same time as SGP or the next lap.
Right, well, we're coming towards the pit lane entry. There's only going to be one way to get in there, and yeah, I think Steve F1 looked like he were trying to make the overtake, but no, SGP stayed out for another lap.
Oh, interesting stuff then. So maybe he doesn't think that he could go 14 minutes, because it would be effectively a 14-minute stint. He moves to the inside to defend from Steve F1. Can Steve F1 do it all the way around the outside of turn 1? He's going to try it. He's going to make it. No, he's not. Yes, he is. And Demon R's trying to sneak through in the background as well.
Fantastic move there from Steve F1. That was the move for future champion there, right round the outside. And yeah, I think SGP, his tyres were just absolutely not able to cope with that much pressure.
Definitely, and you know what, Steve F1 timed that to perfection, because now Demon R has been stuck behind SGP all the way through that first sector, allowing Steve F1 to open up the gap. This is fascinating stuff up at the front. Steve F1, could he get his second victory of the championship? SGP, could he get his third victory of the championship? Or is Demon R, he's going to go over the inside into the hairpin. SGP, his tyres are absolutely knackered, he couldn't get it stopped, but you know what, his rear tyres seem okay, because his traction out the corner was phenomenal.
Yeah, so right now Demon R needs to get on with this. Maybe this is a sign of Demon R running a touch more downforce than SGP, which is why he's able to be quicker through the corners along with that superior tyre wear. Yeah,
I think you could be absolutely right there. But SGP, once again though, on the exit of the corner, he's got the benefit of the speed. Steve F1 though is just running away at the moment. This is going to play into his hands massively. So is SGP going to defend into the chicane? Is he going to pit this lap? Ooh, only time will tell.
I think he's going to have to pick, otherwise them tyres going to be down to the canvas.
I think you're right. Oh, you know what? Demon R's followed him in. Demon R's followed him in. Steve F1 has not pitted. Oh, this is interesting stuff, James. SGP would have got an undercut, but Demon R has gone sneaky and thought, you know what, I'll follow you in. Now he's going to get an undercut on Steve F1 as well, as Tyler is all over the back of Twilight.
Do you think that may be potentially a bit too early though for Demon R? I don't think he's gone that long on a set of tyres.
Sorry, yes, I think you are right. I'm just getting very excited about this battle at the moment.
I was thinking you might need toilet or something.
No, I'm just really excited.
Well, right now, SGP's got Fluffy right in front of him, and luckily this week it's not Fluffy Gary, it's Fluffy Planet, but unfortunately for SGP, he's got Demon R breathing down his neck. He
has, but SGP's making the move on Fluffy Planet straight away. That's a lovely move. Slots in so that Demon R can't follow him through. He's now going to try attacking Jason into Degner 2. Jason gives him the room. Runs a little bit wide though. He's going to lose out massively. Demon R nearly hit the back of Jason. Had to take evasive. May be able to make the move on Fluffy Planet into the hairpin. You know what? This is what SGP wanted. Difficulty for Demon R, but he's managed to get through and survive it. Fluffy Planet manages to make the move on Jason as well, but Bonsall has done Jason too.
Yeah, this is fantastic driving, nice awareness from all the drivers at the moment, but I may have just cursed this.
You may well have done. I think Steve F1 is going to have to respond by going into the pits this time around. If he doesn't, he could lose a lot of time, but he will have been helped with the fact that SGP and Demon R have had to get through this traffic, and he is heading into the pit lane now, although I think he's made a mistake.
Yeah, I think he's really made a massive mistake because he was way off the track there. I think he's had a bit of a cock-up coming through the final chicane.
Yeah, he was in that service road there, wasn't he? He's made an absolute mess of the final chicane, so that could be costly for him. Tyler also into the pits as well. He's moved on to the super soft tyre. Who's leading the race now? It's Hulkenberg, and Twilight's in second place.
Yeah, so right now Twilight is on a couple of laps older tyres than Hulkenberg, and Hulkenberg, if he wants to get in on this podium, he needs to try and he needs to hope that Twilight can hold up these guys, but I don't think there's going to be any holding up these guys because they're both pushing each other down the road so quick. They're pulling away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, Dave, the Harper's managed to get himself ahead of Steve F1, and Steve F1 is right behind Jason, so he has got the traffic to get through. Bonsall coming under a lot of pressure, heading towards the first Degner, or a little bit of contact with Dave the Harb, who has given up smoking on this day, but I do know he restarted the day after. Oh, he's all out of shape. He saved it.
How did he save that? I don't know, but Steve F1, he's trying to make a move on Jason, and yeah, that one lap extra has really cost Steve F1 compared to SGP and Demon R.
It has. So Steve F1 trying to make a move past Jason. Now you mentioned, James, about Demon R not having done this amount of time on these tyres, and you're absolutely right. But as SGP is all over the back of Twilight, I'm wondering if that's why we haven't seen Demon R actually overtake SGP. SGP has done that amount of time, so if Demon R follows him, he looks after the tyres as they're both making the move past Twilight. And you know what? I think Demon R actually bump drafted SGP past Twilight.
Yeah, that were a nice little bit of tactical manoeuvre in there, and Hulkenberg, race leader, is into the pit, so that'll make SGP the new race leader once again.
Yeah, so we've got, 8 minutes left of this race. So we can see Steve F1 in the background, just behind Dave the Harp. SGP ahead of Demon R. But yeah, so Demon R may have been following SGP thinking, well, if I follow him, my tyres will hopefully last. So 8 minutes, they've still got to go. But Steve F1 on fresher tyres, now with only Dave the Harp ahead of him, could get very interesting as Demon R is all over the back of SGP. And he might try a few sneaky tricks to try and get SGP out of position and wear his tyres.
I don't think SGP is going to be looking in his mirrors though, because he's got nothing to lose right now. So even if it ends up in contact, it's not really. I don't think he'll be too bothered.
You might be right. Or Dave running a little bit wide through the first Degner and the second Degner. That's going to allow Steve F1 to close the gap massively. You know what? Tyler's not far away either. Steve F1 making the move. Dave the Harp is going to try and fight up the inside. No, Steve's already ahead. And Hulkenberg, you know what? He's timed his pit stop brilliantly because he's come out and he's only got Tyler to get past. And then he's into the fight with Dave and Steve.
Yeah, so here we go. Move on Tyler, and I have to let you know as well, it's the first time that Hulkenberg's been on the super soft tyre. He's been on the softs for the most of the race, and this is the first time he's using the super softs. But could he he just made the move past Dave the Harp because he's made that mistake, but could it be that Hulkenberg, can he hold on to these tyres even though it's only 8 minutes?
It could be difficult. Demon R attacking SGP into the final chicane. You know what, if he just tucks in behind, yeah, he's not attacking, look. He's really not attacking at the moment, and to be honest, if those two start fighting too much, Steve F1 will catch them quicker, but you could be right. Hulkenberg has now only got to catch Steve F1 and he's already behind him, so Hulkenberg is in with a shout for a win of this race because the leaders here, their tyres are going to be knackered.
Yeah, so here we go, round turn one. Demon R has just got fantastic grip in the corners, but SGP just pulls away slightly on the straight. Demon R needs to try and make a cheeky move through this first sector, I think, through a fast corner if he's going to try and make a move, but unfortunately compared to previous times, Demon R's on exactly the same tyre wear now as SGP.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Dave the Harp has also made another pit stop. He was on the medium compound tyre. So yeah, I mean, this is fascinating stuff at the moment. And looking at the track map, it doesn't look like Steve F1 is catching that much at the moment, James.
No, I think he's got Hulkenberg all over his rear wing, and he's probably defending like mad to try and hold on to the podium place of P3. But SGP right now, he's just hoping to get to every single corner and to be in front before the apex.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've wanted to see these two go. Oh, SGP runs a little bit wide. A slight mistake there. That's Demon R through into the lead of the race. But SGP has already shown he's got great speed as Hulkenberg is wide. And he's spinning. Is he going to save it? Just. He's lost the position to Tyler, though. Sorry, James.
Yeah, I think Hulkenberg, probably with the first time of him using
SGP's close, he's side by side, headed into the chicane. Is he going to make the move? You know what? He's basically turned in and said, look, you can either back out or crash.
Whoa, that were a nice bit of driving there. Very, very respectful between the two. And but Demon R, could he have a run in towards turn one? We're about to find out.
Yeah, I was trying to say that we've been wanting to watch these two go wheel to wheel all season, and now we really do. Oh, there's a nice move from Demon R, but SGP trying to go for a little bit of a switchback, but Demon R parking it on the apex. Has SGP got anything to fight back with? And Hulkenberg has managed to retake Tyler after that little bit of a spin, and Twilight is all over the back of Tyler now. This is absolutely to form with the rest of the championship, James, in that absolutely every lap has got loads happening.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, I think Hulkenberg may have possibly cooked his tyres already, may have been better sticking to what he knows, and he likes running on the softs. I think them super softs have just burnt out, and unfortunately that's probably the podium gone for him.
I think you could be right. He's nowhere near Steve F1 at the moment, which will allow Steve F1 to close up to these guys. Now, the interesting situation with the leading two now is SGP knows what the tyres are going to be like in these next few laps. Demon R doesn't, because he will have, by the end of this lap, have been on them for about 10 minutes, and he's not done more than 10 minutes on them. So SGP, although he's about half a second behind at the moment, is actually in the pound seat.
Yeah, but the only thing that's probably worse for SGP is he's not been fantastic through the corners, and being in dirty air as well, that will not help the situation.
It definitely won't. And we got Tyler just ahead of Twilight and Fluffy. Now it's Bunsell and Dave the Harp trying to go for a gap that's not quite there. You can see him thinking about it, but he realises now he's got to back out of it. Oh, it's Bunsell! Bunsell wipes out Twilight, and that's why Dave the Harp backed out, because if you're side by side and you back out, there's a good chance the two ahead of you will have an accident and you can just drive on by.
Yeah, I think Bunsell really needs to back off and let Twilight through there, because that were very, very shocking.
Now,
here we go.
Yeah, I mentioned about SGP being in the pound seat, and he really has managed to close that gap back in through the higher speed sections of this track. But it's in this sector, James, where I think Demon R, is, like you said, he's just got the grip in the corners, hasn't he?
Yeah, indeed. So SGP just needs to stay as close as possible and get a nice run through Spoon, and try and do him into 130. He's got superior top speed.
Yeah, that he has indeed. There's still fascinating stuff up at the front. So the way it's going at the moment, SGP is not going to be able to take the title, but he may still be able to take the victory here, as Steve F1 is now slowly once again starting to catch up to these guys, as SGP loses a little bit in the hairpin. But there is Steve F1. Hulkenberg trying to close in on Steve F1, and then we've got Dave the Harp ahead of Tyler, Fluffy Planet, Twilight, Jason, and Bunsell is a little bit further back in 10th place at the moment. But you wanted SGP to be close to Demon R, James, and he's right on him.
Yeah, this is the opportunity he needs. He needs to just stick. He's gone through Spoon quite nicely there. He's got superior top speed. Just needs to tuck into that slipstream and try and do him into the final chicane. This is his best opportunity to take the win.
It definitely is, and he really is closing that gap. Demon R goes defensive. SGP, is he going to go around the outside like he did earlier, or is he going to go for a switchback? He's looking for a switchback. Demon R gets nice through the corner, so does SGP, and so does Steve F1. SGP, has he got the speed? Surely he's got him down the straight here, although Demon R going defensive. Is SGP going to have to go around all the outside, James?
He's going to have to, but this is the final lap. SGP trying it round the outside. It's not going to happen there. He's going to hope for Demon R to run out wide, but that's just going to be I think you've got to wake up very, very early to catch Demon R napping. Yeah,
definitely. And if Demon R has got anything left in those tyres, he needs to use them up now through the section of track where he has been faster. Because if SGP is anywhere within sniffing distance towards the end of this lap, he'll go for it. And you know what? Demon R is opening up that gap a little bit through those corners. He is.
Definitely. And SGP has struggled slightly through these two very, very fast corners.
He's wide.
I think I've just commentator cursed him there, and that's just given Demon R a healthy gap to not be sweating in the final half of the lap.
I think you're absolutely right there, James. So De Minaur opening up that gap to SGP. He may have just pushed his tyres a little bit too much. Steve F1, he's now closing in dramatically onto SGP. Hulkenberg is sitting in 4th place. Steve F1 can really see SGP. Is he going to be able to do anything on this final lap to catch him and steal that 2nd place from him? He's on. Oh, he's off. He's off. He's into the gravel. Oh, he's sideways. Can he recover? Hulkenberg sneaks through to take 3rd.
Yeah, so Steve F1 now, his biggest challenge will be holding up the pack, as they're going to be closing quick as he's getting up to speed. Dave the Art goes past, and here comes the rest.
And De Minaur is going to take victory here in Suzuka, and with that it will be the championship. But we want to see what's happening to Steve F1. He's currently sitting in 6th place. Jason has got past him. SGP is going to take 2nd place. Hulkenberg, fantastic drive to take 3rd place, and Steve F1 is down to 7th. Dave the Harp's going to cross the line in 4th. Jason 5th. Tyler 6th. Steve F1 7th. Fluffy Planet and Twilight looking like they're going a little slow there in 8th and 9th, and Bunzel in 10th. Apologies that we didn't see Steve F1 losing a load of places. He'll be happy about that, but I'm guessing the cameraman wanted to see De Minaur crossing the line to take the win and the championship. Oh my goodness, James, I'm absolutely knackered after that one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go and get me tongue sorted, because it just keeps stiffening up all the time. That sounds wrong.
Yep.
But yeah, it just stuttering all the way through that, because it was just so fantastic.
It really was. I mean, one of the things I will say about the Red Bull Junior Championship, I didn't think that the league could get more entertaining for its races than the previous 2 championships, but it has. There's been some brilliant races, and that was another one there. Differences of strategy. There was a couple of incidents, but nothing drastic, nothing major.
Yeah. So the Red Bull Championship is now officially over. De Minaur's the champion of 3 times. Just imagine how he feels.
I bet he's absolutely elated.
Can you just imagine how he feels? I mean, 3 championships.
I don't even know what to say there, James. Well, it's a miserable gig, see, so he probably didn't celebrate it in any way, shape or form.
Well, the only thing that this is probably doing, though, is geeing up the rest of the drivers to think, you know what, I'm going to be the first one to knock him off his crown. But the thing about being at the top, it's just like anything. The king of the hill can only go down. However, when he wants the food, it's there.
True. I mean, to be fair, I mean, De Minaur has had a brilliant season, and I did hear a story actually that he said he'd got a heartfelt message to give to SGP after the race, and then started singing "Champions," which didn't go down too well. But you're absolutely right, James. He's got a target on his back now, hasn't he?
On his box.
On his box, yeah. I mean, we've praised him enough over the previous couple of championships. We knew he'd be difficult to beat. I mean, he's won 6 of the 9 races, so yeah, I think you have to say fair play. When it comes to everybody else, though, SGP had a real tough start to the season and has ended it brilliantly with 2 victories, some phenomenal record. I mean, one of his wins, he was at the back of the field and pitted within the first few laps and still went on to win the race. So he's done fantastic.
Yeah. Is there anybody? I mean, we've said that this championship probably can't get any better, but for next season, just a bit of a teaser, we're moving to that Mitsubishi, if that's how you say it, Mitsubishi, yeah. A lot of the drivers have been showing a lot of interest in that new car. Just in terms of a teaser for next season, is there anybody out there who you think could possibly beat him? Steve F1, I'm going to put some money on him, because I think he's really, really improved over this season.
He has massively. He really has. I think what would make it difficult let's put it this way, right? I don't think that Demon R is going to win the next championship, and I don't necessarily think it's because one particular other driver will rise to the top. I think it's more because of because of the layout of the next championship, with the reverse championship order set in the qualifying grid, and given the types of cars that they are, you could end up with a different winner at every race, which could open it up massively to anybody. What I would say is it probably will favour those that are perhaps a little more consistent. So perhaps your Steve F1s, your Jasons. For those that like the handbrakes, could be a little bit difficult. For Dave the Harp, I mean, I think he'll be surprised. He's struggled with tyre wear in this championship, but I think he'll be fine in the next one. But then you've got drivers like Formula Gary, who's improved a lot this championship, being on a wheel. You got Rich Blues, who has pretty much spent most of this championship just trying to get to grips with using a wheel. So you got a few people who are a little bit sort of unknowns. You've got SRI, who chose the car that's being used in the next championship, so he likes the car and he has got the ability to win, as has Hulkenberg, as has Dave the Harp. So I think it could be absolutely anybody's.
Indeed. So let's look forward to the next championship. And is it another 3 weeks until that's going to be kicking off?
It is. I think the first race is on June the 13th. So there's basically 2 Thursdays where there's not going to be a league race, although there will be races done on those days, just like random races. So the next championship race will be in 3 weeks' time, which, as you said, James, there's a lot of people showing a lot of interest in this car. They've driven it, they've had a go of it, and they're kind of like, you know what, I like this.
Yeah, indeed. But there's only one way to find out who's going to be the best, and that is to tune in next season to watch. And I just also personally like to thank our sponsor of I Tell You What TV. They've been fantastic, them guys, haven't they? They have
plastering their liveries over many people's cars, and if you haven't listened to their unofficial F1 podcast, check them out on YouTube.
Some might say that they sound very similar to us.
Yeah, some might say that, but with a lot more swearing and probably talk better, actually.
Yeah. They can probably string a sentence together without stuttering like mad.
Yeah. What I will say though is, James, it's been good fun doing another championship of commentary with you.
Likewise.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to continue that on through into the next championship as well.
We have got something to say about that. Just on the side. Hopefully, I did mention a little cheeky comment last week. I'd just like to, just so that the drivers do know that you are not a race steward. That was just a joke.
Oh, you have no idea how much grief I've been getting about that over the last week.
Yeah. Dave is not a race steward.
No.
He is a commentator.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's cleaned up.
Right.
Also,
no penalty for you this week, James, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Something else to clean up is... this payment. We were both being told that we were going to get paid for commentary, and I haven't seen out in my bank account. Have you?
No. But I can. Well, although actually SGP did say if you come down to see him, he'll pay you.
Yeah. But another way that we could possibly get paid is if we get more subscribers. If you like and subscribe, we might be able to get some little bit of cheeky money in the bank account to. Help us stop stuttering. Yeah,
that'll never happen, but I mean, it doesn't cost the viewers anything because it's all the advertisements that get to pay you. But the more likes and subscribes and subscriptions we have, the more chance there is of that happening for DGT League. So
indeed,
hit like and hit subscribe.
And yeah, thanks very much to yourself for the fantastic video production that's been going on, and yeah, just a brilliant championship, and I'm just looking forward to next season now.
Yeah, it has been very, very exciting indeed. And although your girlfriend said I sound very professional, when she hears the outtakes video she might change her mind. Okay, let's take a look at the confirmed race result, and I can confirm now actually that there was no there was no incidents there was no incidents reported once again this week, so no penalties for any of the drivers. So let's take a look at the confirmed race result and the final championship standings as we say goodbye to the Red Bull Junior. Taking the victory then at the Suzuka GP circuit for race 9 of the Red Bull Junior Championship is Demon R. Second place DGT League SGP with James Hulkenberg in third, Dave the Harp taking fourth, Jason finished in fifth, Tyler sixth, Steve F1 dropped down to seventh, and Fluffy Planet finished in 8th, with Twilight in 9th, Jay Bunsel in 10th and Rich Blues in 11th. Unfortunately, a few drivers couldn't make the final race of the season, which did make things difficult for SGP in his attempts to take the title. However, it's still been a fantastic race and a fantastic championship. Taking a look now at the final championship standings after all 9 races have been completed, and it is a third championship for Demon R on 163 points. 20 points behind him is DGT League SGP on 143. Bit of a gap back to third place where Steve F1, even with his dramatic final lap in Suzuka, manages to take that third place on 103 points with James Hulkenberg in fourth on 100. Dave the Harp takes fifth place on 92 points with Twilight having a great season finishing on 82 points. Fluffy Planet takes seventh place on 64 points, while DGT League SRI and Jason they share 8th place and 60 points each. Schumacher, a late entrant to the championship, 58 points for 10th place, and he's followed by Bunsel on 53, formerly Gary on 40, Groover on 33, Rich Blues on 29 and Tyler on 22, with GT5 King on 18 and Dex on 2. This has been an absolutely phenomenal championship, so thank you very much for joining us and watching. If you do want to get involved in a GT Sport League on PlayStation 4, then feel free to check out Dynamic GT League on Facebook, although I do think that all of the seats are taken for the next championship. But you are still welcome to apply, as you never know, reserve drives may become available and they can turn permanent, as Schumacher and Tyler have shown. Okay, time for us all to take a bit of a break until we start the Grevo Cup using the Mitsubishi Evo Group 3, and that is going to be one hell of a spicy championship. Make sure you come and check it out. I've been Dave from I'll Tell You What TV, and I'll see you again soon.